This is a demonstration of exercise 6A26, computing ending merchandise inventory, cost of goods sold, and gross profit using the periodic inventory system, FIFO, LIFO, and weighted average methods. Assume that Jump Coffee Shop completed the following periodic inventory transactions for a line of merchandise inventory. And the problem gives us the beginning merchandise inventory on June 1st, the purchases that were made, the sales that were made, and then the total units that are left at the end of the month, the total cost of goods available for sale, and then also the sales revenue. So for each of these, to determine these amounts, you would take the units times the price, and that would be the amount that's in the available column for the inventory. And for the sales, you would take the units that were sold times the price, and that would be the sales revenue. So in the requirements it states to compute ending merchandise inventory, cost of goods sold, and gross profit using the FIFO inventory method. So we know that FIFO stands for first in, first out. So to determine cost of goods sold, we would first determine what our ending merchandise inventory would be under FIFO. So we know that we had 6 units left at the end of the month. So under first in, first out, we would assume that the first items sold first. So these 6 items would be from our newest purchases, which our last purchases were 11 items at $23 per item. So to calculate our ending merchandise inventory, we would say 6 units at $23 per unit, and that would give us ending merchandise inventory of $138. Now we would subtract that from our total goods available for sale, and the difference would be cost of goods sold. The second part asks us to determine the gross profit. First, we need to determine the amount of sales revenue. So we know that we sold 27 items. We can add 14 and 13, and that the sales price per item was $37. So again, we have our $999 of sales revenue. We subtract our cost of goods sold that we calculated above, and so gross profit using FIFO would be $534. In the second part, it asks us to compute ending merchandise inventory, cost of goods sold, and gross profit using the LIFO inventory costing method. So LIFO stands for last in, first out. So for our ending inventory, those 6 items would be from the very beginning inventory, because we're saying that the last items would all have been sold. So to determine ending inventory under LIFO, we would take those 6 units and use our earliest price per unit, which is $15, and multiplying 6 units times $15 gives us ending merchandise inventory under LIFO of $90, which subtracted from our goods available for sale of 603 gives us cost of goods sold of $513. Again, we need to calculate the amount of our sales revenue, which was 27 units at $37. Again, that's our $999 minus our cost of goods sold gives us $486 of gross profit using the LIFO method. And then in part 3, it asks us to compute ending merchandise inventory, cost of goods sold, and gross profit using the weighted average inventory costing method. So when we use weighted average, we take our total cost of goods available for sale, which was $603, and then we divide that by the total number of units that were available for sale. So we take our beginning inventory, which was 17, we add to that the 5 purchases, and the 11 items that we purchased. So we had a total of 33 items that were in our inventory. Dividing 603 by 33 units gives us a weighted average unit price of $18.27. And that is the amount that we will use to multiply by our ending inventory items, which were 6, to determine ending merchandise inventory of $110. When we subtract that from goods available for sale, 603, we get cost of goods sold of $493. Then we would take again the number of units that we sold, 27, times the $37 sales price, or $999, subtract cost of goods sold, and that would give us gross profit using weighted average of $506. And if you notice, your weighted average gross profit will always be between your LIFO gross profit and your FIFO gross profit. So it will be in between those two amounts. And that is the conclusion of the demonstration for exercise 6A26.